Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with My Hero Academia Season 7 Episode 4 reaction. So the previous episode, something crazy got revealed. The traitor that was brought up back in Season 1, or was it Season 2? We have actually got to see who that is. It's Aoyama. And Hagakure actually came across Aoyama talking to his parents. Now his situation is a bit tricky one. He was quirkless and his parents made the bad decision of contacting All for One and getting a quirk for him. And that's how they are like literally stuck with him now, and he's basically manipulating them into being the spy. And All for One literally doesn't care. For him, he's like, oh, these are all my pawns. If someone does something, it's all well and good. If they fail, I don't care, whatever. So basically that. So we got to, we apprehended him, brought him in front of everyone. And now our plan is basically, since All for One is the one who contacts Aoyama, we will wait for him to contact Aoyama, then we'll strike back. So we'll try to like revert it back to him, like something like that. So let's see if that plan works or not, something like that. And let's begin with episode number 4. Let's get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh boy. Hmm. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like All for One is a bit smarter to offer something like that. I don't know. Well, you know what? I feel like if the situation was a bit different, I would have. But, like the thing is, Aoyama isn't really at fault. I'll talk about it later. I think I already talked about it in the previous episode, but, like he can help us out now and, regain back the trust. Like what damage he has done cannot really be. Yeah, right. Like I was saying, Nothing you can do to change the past, so all we can do is from here. Hmm. The guy, he's like, hello, like we have a job to do. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I saw. Oh my god, his. Hmm. All right, let's hear it. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. Great. Hmm. All right, so he has a better plan than just. Right. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, wait, Bakugo walks. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, this is maze play. Hello? Oh. Oh god. Oh my god. Yep, it's a deja vu. Bruh. Good god. Uh, well, we have. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Okay. What? What's happening here? I feel like there's a miscommunication. Oh, she doesn't know. She's probably busy with her experiments. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, this place is a mess. But yeah. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Why is she? Yeah. Okay. Well, nice. So we need to be. Wow. Now what? Okay. Wow. She's probably like involved with something bigger, maybe. Vec. Whoa. Ah. Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah. All they can do is like support from the back. So they're gonna do that to their 100%. Oh, I guess that's where her name comes from, Hatsume. Hatsume means invention. Okay, that'll help. Oh, that's what she was doing. Oh my god. Right. Okay. Uh, wow. Hey, yo, his glasses. Okay, hello? Your face. Hmm. And of course, yeah. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Kansai region. Okay, these guys are also fighting the villains. Yep. What happened? Hmm. Wow. Oh, she's here. Ah, okay, that makes sense. All right. Hmm. Okay. And they are from. Hmm. Okay. I guess she's here because she herself. Yeah. What? Oh, it's. Oh my god, I just realized. Hmm. Yeah, so we have to separate the. How do we like separate them? Hmm. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's why they were also careful in not letting us know. Hmm. Dhabi. Hmm. We have to take care of Dhabi first. Himiko's there as well. Yeah. So we have to isolate each and every one of them. So we do this one by one, I guess. Hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it won't blow up. Hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Seed of fear. Yep. Hmm. He's also guilty as well, like that's I feel like that's a bigger part of him. Yeah, he's just ashamed of himself and hmm, hmm. Yeah, but the world and everyone else. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Story of how we all became heroes. All right. Oh, there's something. What the? All right. And that was today's episode. So yeah, this episode was basically, I guess it was again like a preparatory episode. Basically, everyone was like, "What should we do about Aoyama?" And they came to the decision that like for now, let us take him and put him in confinement. But yeah, he might. we might be able to, like, help him out, and he can help us out as well. So Aoyama, not Aoyama, sorry, Aizawa had to have a conversation with him, and he told him and said that, like the whole thing about how he should take, like, he had to like yank out the seeds of fear that All for One has planted in him. He talked to him, made him understand the whole situation, and yeah, basically told him to move forward. Also, we also get to see how, like, everyone else is preparing as well. The support department, I think that's what they're called. Mei, Hatsume, and the everyone else, they are also like ready, trying to, like, like make everything better. Like, the UA barrier, like Hatsume is doing the UA barrier, kind of tweaking it, making it better, and so everyone's like doing their part. And as Hasume said, that we are the support group. We cannot really stand in the front line and fight, but what we do here helps out the heroes to stand and fight. So in a way, we are also on the front line. We're in the battlefield. What we do here is going to reflect in what the people in the front line will be able to do. So yeah, stuff like that, and also like the defense of the place and everything. And we also get to see a few other characters, like Nejire and Sun Eater was there taking care of the whole situation. And over there, Fat Gum, Fat Gum was also there, yeah. And then we have All Might talking with the detectives, and this girl, I forgot her name, I don't remember her name, one of the pussycats, the one who was captured. Now here's the thing, the reason, like, they say that they haven't brought in the other pussycats, the other three. Okay, so they say that, sorry about that, we don't suspect them or anything. So okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm guessing they did not bring them in just in case they have, like, I don't know, like some kind of, maybe like somehow the information gets leaked. But then why is she here? Is it because I think she's quirkless, isn't it now? Her quirk was taken. Is that why? Or is it because she got captured? That is why, obviously, she's in no way is she a traitor or a mole. Like, that's not the case. They're convinced. I think it's probably either. I think maybe it's probably because she doesn't have a quirk. I think because, like, I guess, yeah, like it would be easier for All for One to leak out information if she had a quirk or something. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that. That is why she has only been invited here. Um, I guess that's probably it. Because she's quirkless now. Every single person here, I don't think any of them has a quirk. Everyone who's here, we have the people from Star and Stripes group, then we have our own police department, a few other people. All of them, they don't have a quirk. The only one who has a quirk here is what's his name? Hawks. Yeah. So that's why, isn't it? She's here. I think so. I'm not really sure. Either way, so All Might's plan is basically to isolate every single villain that will be there. Like Nabi being there is a problem over there. Uh, All for One and Shigaraki, they have to separate them as well. Then there's other people like Himiko's there, and a lot of other villains. We have to take care of them as well. So basically, split them up and get them little by little. I guess that's the plan. And yeah, so yeah, that was basically today's episode. In the end, Eraserhead talks to Aoyama and like inspires him to keep fighting forward. Now, I feel I have to discuss a few things about Aoyama. Is that, like, what can I say? Like, the situation is there in such a way that, like, if this was some other type of situation, I don't know, I might not have been happy with Aoyama, the whole situation going on with Aoyama. but I really cannot blame him or his parents. Like, it's kind of I guess you could say that, yeah, his parents had a little bit of fault, but that's not even that much of a, like, like a significant one, because they just wanted to help out their child who didn't have a quirk, and they fell for a basically, like, someone, like, fell into someone's schemes who basically was like the worst person in this world, and they got manipulated, and the seed of fear got planted into all of them, so that's why they're basically being his puppet. So yeah, I guess you could say that, you know his parents were the reason why this happened, but just think about it honestly, and just say, like, just we need to remember that what they wanted was the best for their kid, and that's why this happened. So the fact that what they wanted was something that would help their kid, and they fell for something like this, so where their intention was pure and nice, that in itself makes me feel like I cannot really say anything about this situation. At least I cannot blame them, because they were just being parents. They were being good parents. From a parental perspective, they thought about how their child might get bullied in school, because yeah, that's what happens. We saw Deku. What happened to Deku? You know, so that's reality. Especially in kids, among kids, there's a bunch of kids. If one kid is different from the others, all the other kids will point their fingers at them. That is reality. You cannot sugarcoat this. Kids are ruthless, and yeah, so they knew that, and they knew that in a world filled with quirks, if he's the only one without quirks, he might get bullied. Worst case scenario, he might even get injured, because kids being kids, they might use their quirk and injure Aoyama, or something like that can easily happen. And to be honest, most of the times teacher aren't able to put their their cannot keep an eye on every single kid 24/7. That's not possible. And at the same time, a lot of teachers are also negligent. There are, obviously, that doesn't mean that every single teacher is negligent. There are good teachers as well, but like I said, like, most of them do not have the power to keep an eye on them every single time. So could easily happen. So as parents, they knew that this would have happened, so they were desperate so that their child could at least have a good childhood, not get bullied, something like that. And that is why they fell for such a big mistake. All for One used this situation and manipulated them. So just like how what's his name, Shigaraki, got manipulated by All for One taking advantage of in a vulnerable situation, his parents also got manipulated by All for One taking advantage of their vulnerable situation, and that went to their kid. Aoyama had to face the brunt of the whole thing. So yeah, I think that's the best I could describe this situation. So neither is his parents at fault. Yeah, they did a mistake, they made a mistake, but that doesn't mean they are at fault. Neither is Aoyama. So if this was any other situation, I probably would have said that no, this person, they did something bad. We cannot allow them, this person, to stay here and continue with us. But since the situation is like this, I also agree with everyone else. Yeah, he should be given a second chance. Like, he hasn't sold his soul to the devil. He just was being manipulated, and like something like that. Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like this is like the difference between Aoyama and, I guess you could say, other characters who has also been manipulated by All for One. For example, Shigaraki and the other League of Villains. The other League of Villains, they also were taken advantage of by All for One in their vulnerable situation and brainwashed, basically. But what they're doing now is of their own free will, unlike Aoyama, who is still in the fear of All For One. So he's not doing stuff like this through his own free will, he's being forced to. And because of that difference between the League of Villains and Aoyama, I would like to say that Aoyama can be changed. Unlike Shigaraki and the others. Like, I genuinely think the League of Villains, Shigaraki, none of them can be changed. Yeah, they are victims of unfortunate circumstances, but they cannot be changed. Like, I don't know how the anime or the manga goes, but if in the future someday I see that any of these League of Villains get some kind of a redemption arc or whatever and they become a good guy, I'll completely flip out, because in no way I can accept that. In no way. But for Aoyama, I can accept it, because Aoyama, he's also being manipulated, but he isn't doing everything from his own free will. He's being forced to do this, so he can be redeemed. He has he can ask for a helping hand, because he genuinely wants to change if he has the opportunity to. Unlike the League of Villains, the League of Villains are victims, but at the same time they're irredeemable, in my opinion. And that is why Deku's and Gran Torino telling Deku that a lot of the time putting someone out of their misery is also a way to save them. And he implied Shigaraki. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen in the future, because I really all the people in the League of Villains, everyone, I feel like they cannot come back. They started walking in the dark tunnel and they have gone so far they cannot turn back. Even if people try to yank them out of that darkness, they cannot. They literally cannot. So I feel like every single League of Villains will probably share the same fate by the end of it. Everyone will, either they'll get arrested or they'll die, because that's genuinely what I think. But yeah, Aoyama's situation is completely different. He was a traitor, but he was doing it unwillingly. His parents' mistakes cost a lot, and he had to go through all of this, and he's doing it unwillingly, and he wants to change if he has the opportunity to change. So I think we should give that to him. So yeah, I think this is fine. And also, as we get to see, Aizawa does, I think he does a very good, takes a very good decision. He realizes that to take care of Aoyama, to make sure that he's okay, we have to first yank out the seed of fear from him, because he deduces, for Lady Nagant, she just blew up, and they later did tests on Aoyama. There's no such thing like that, so it's not going to suddenly blow up. So basically, All For One has been just making them fearful. He showed everyone oh, look, this is what's going to happen to you if you don't listen to me, and that's it. The seed of fear, it has been planted. So even if there's no fail-safe measure, they will think that they cannot go against All For One, otherwise he'll kill them or something. Even though the chances of that happening is probably very low, still they will think and they will fear for it. His parents will fear for their child, that is Aoyama, and Aoyama will fear for his parents. So messy situation. And yeah, either way, that's how it went. And yeah, there you go. That was today's episode. Right. Okay, now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. I don't think there's much to discuss in today's episode. Like I said, this was basically another preparatory episode. So in the very first scene, we get to see that scene where Midoriya and everyone else is talking to Aoyama. Aoyama is crying, and Aoyama is like, how can you guys still be so nice to me after all of this? Either way, Ida also came out, and Ida's also he should be given another chance. Bakugo's pissed. Bakugo's like, I'm going to blow you up, just to wait. As for everything that I went through. Oh my god. What's his name? Kirishima, isn't it? Yeah. Kirishima also was like, it's not your fault, this and that. Basically everyone is like, yeah, you can still come back from there, So yeah, either way, But the police were like, okay, you know what, I'm glad that you guys are getting so over, like enthusiastic, but first and foremost we need to take him to custody, because we need to do some tests on him, number one, and number two, before we come into any type of decision, we have to put him in confinement. So like, yeah, so they're thinking of all of that, and they're also thinking what to do, and that's when Aizawa calls them, video calls them, and Aizawa was like, like, it's also my responsibility, so let me handle this. Like, it was also my fault, I wasn't able to know what he was going through, being the teacher that I am, and as a teacher, it was my negligence as well, being unable to know what he was going through. So yeah, he's like, I don't want to expel him, I'll talk to him. And then Aizawa was like, I have a plan, so make sure that they don't listen to what we say. So they like put ear, like, things on their ears so that they cannot hear, obviously, just in case, as a fail safe measure, just in case, like, all for one is like listening in or something, who knows what he might be doing. So yeah, and then they say something to them, which obviously we as audience don't know, but we'll get to know later, I guess. Either way, that's that, and then they move on. In the end, Deku was, you know, in the end, Deku was like Aoyama, and Aoyama kind of looked back, but he's still heartbroken. So yeah. Now, after that, we get to see them. Okay, all of them were in the dorm. They were like kind of talking about the whole situation, thinking about what they can do and how they can help. So Ida and Deku goes to the repair. What was the department? The support department. Yeah, support department. I love this part where the whole place blows up, and Ida's like, "Wait a minute, this is some kind of a deja vu." And yeah, basically the same thing that happened back then. Like, Mei literally falls on top of Deku. Oh boy, and Deku's like, "Oh my god!" Like. He's like, my danger sense didn't, trigger. And he does like, yeah, obviously, this wasn't really an enemy. Right. Anyway, so they're like, oh, Mei, have you heard about it, didn't you? So can you help us out? And Mei's like, what are you talking about? So she has no clue what's going on. They realize that. And obviously they are very, like, what's that word, concentrating on what they're doing, so they have no idea what's going on outside. So Ida and Midoriya gets in, and like, they're like, oh, we need a little bit of help. So Midoriya's gauntlet, Ida's armor, and Mei kind of looks at them, and Mei is like, unfortunately I don't have the materials or the time to do anything about this, so I'm sorry. And she just leaves or tries to leave. Either way, there's two other people, like, students, they were like, oh, we can help you out, even if Mei cannot. So Deku goes and sees what Mei is doing. So you can see Mei is literally, like, I didn't realize what she was doing here. Obviously one hand was doing the typing or whatever, and then there was the other hand which was doing something else. We later on get to realize what she was actually doing with her left hand. She was fixing Deku's gauntlet and Ida's armor with one hand, with her left hand, and the right hand was doing the other, like, thing that she was doing. That is wild. Either way, so yeah, they get to know that even Mei is involved in the UA barrier, and like, what, they're also trying to help out. And here is where Mei tells that, like, just like how everyone, you guys are in the front line, we cannot be in the front lines, but we have a similar type of responsibility like you guys. You guys are saving people, we guys saving you guys, so that you can save other people as well, and also we are saving other people as well. Like, yeah, basically the support department, by taking care of the UA barrier, they will be able to save a lot of people, help a lot of people here. By taking care of the materials and the equipment for the heroes that they'll wear, they can save the heroes. In turn, the heroes can save more people, obviously making indirectly them helping people. So obviously that is what heroes are. Heroes are basically people who help other people, like, who help civilians and other people who do not have that power. That is what heroes are. And Just because they cannot be in the front line doesn't mean that they cannot be a hero. They can be a hero like this. They can save the heroes so that the heroes can save others. That's how they are also saving other people. So yeah, they're also heroes in that sense. Right. Anyways, so and while she was doing all of this, she's suddenly like, Deku, here we go. Here I have a little bit of I did something to your gloves. It's not as good as the other one, because obviously she doesn't have the materials and stuff as she said. But like this is good enough. And she also gives the armor to Ida as well. She's like, oh, this is for you. Like everything is fine. Like it's not as good as the previous one, but it's good enough. And the two of them who were like, okay, we can help you out, they were just getting ready with the tapes to measure them. And May has already completed everything by that time with one hand. Right. Anyways, so all that happens. Deku gets motivated seeing May, and they are off. And here we get to see Mount Lady briefing them as to what they're going to be doing. So they'll be breaking up into 3 groups, like each, I guess, led by one group led by Midoriya, one by Bakugan, one by what's his name, Todoroki, I think, yeah. And they're like, let's go, like help every other people out and take care of the situation. We also get to see other heroes also doing their part. For example, we see Nejire taking care of some villains, Sun Eater helping people, Fat Gum is there, and then we have, I forgot her name, Ryu, something with Ryu, I forgot her name. The dragon lady. She's also there, so like they are doing their part as well. And they say like since a lot of people are being evacuating, there's not enough people to give them intel, so they're getting less and less intel about the villains. But either way, this is like the battle is like in the horizon almost, so like they're getting ready for that. Now we get to see All Might making a plan with all the other people here. For example, the subordinates of Star and Stripes are there. The police department, we have one of the Pussycats as well. Hawks is there, and they are planning out what to do and how to counter this whole thing. So All Might's plan is basically separating All for One and Shigaraki. I don't know how they will be doing that, but and yeah, so here's one thing they kind of say, like All Might says, if both All for One and Shigaraki comes at us together, then we're screwed. At which the Star and Stripes, the subordinates of the Star and Stripes, they say like, but while we were fighting, they didn't do that. Why? At which All Might says a good point. He says like they didn't do that, especially because they were fighting against someone like her. Because of her quirk, if you guys got to know that All for One is actually behind all of this, Star and Stripes would be able to deduce and probably stop All for One, because the thing that was able to stump them was because they thought that was Shigaraki. They had no clue All for One is involved in that. That's why Star and Stripes' new order didn't work on them as intended. So if they got to know that All for One is involved in it, they would easily deduce what's going on, and they might be able to actually do something to them. It would have worked. So yeah, that's why they didn't go all out back then, because that would in turn be harmful to them. But yeah, now there's no such thing, so they'll go full out from here onwards. Either way, their plan is basically, as All Might says, separating them at least 10 kilometers, and then we have Dabi as well. We have to take care of Dabi as well. Other villains out there, we have to take care of them as well. So basically what All Might says is like, we have to separate each and every villain. That's the best way to do this. Okay, either way, later on we get to see Aizawa talking to Aoyama, and Aizawa says like you saw your friends, what they were telling, you'll never make friends like that. They are like once in a lifetime friends who are still willing to forgive you after all that has happened. So you have to return their like them back this thing, and then he also talks about like what's going on. Talk to me. What is scaring you? Are you scared of All for One, or is it just that you are like guilt is eating at you? So obviously it's pretty obvious that it's a mixture of both. like the All for One situation is obviously scaring him. He knows that his life is in danger, his parents' life might be in danger. But another thing that probably like makes him is eating at him is the fact that Midoriya was also quirkless. However, the path that he took and how he took care of his situation, unlike him, who completely went in a different direction, he feels ashamed for that. He feels ashamed for being the traitor who betrayed his friends who trusted in him. Like all of these things he feels ashamed, and he feels ashamed about the fact that all these friends are still willing to give him a chance, and that he might not be able to answer back to it, because if he tries to do it, All for One might come and destroy everything. So he's scared and he's sad about the fact that they are being kind to him, and that he will not be able to respond to it back in kind. That kind of thing he's afraid and he's ashamed of. Right. And which is obviously, it's understandable, because it's just like like when someone is helping you and that, oh, if you try to do something for them, you won't be able to do that. It's a sad feeling. In such a situation, after everything that happened, the class that was able to put their trust on him, even after he got betrayed, he's sad about the fact that he won't be able to respond in kind, because if he tries to do that, he might be putting them in more danger. So he's worrying about these type of things. And Aizawa kind of thinks about it, and Aizawa's like they already tested him, there's nothing in him, he won't suddenly blow up like in Lady Nagant, but there's one thing that has been planted in him, which is the seed of fear, and this is what All for One has done to him. In the end, Aizawa says that you're tormented by your actions, I have no intention of expelling you, you're one of my students, and you have to get over it. Just, you cannot change your past, but you can do something about your future. So go back to your friends who are ready to trust in you in your time of need, and respond to them in kind. Show them that the trust that they put on you has not been wasted. Yeah. And he also says and you're not alone in that path. Don't think that, oh, All for One will get you this and that, you're all alone in this fight. Up until now, you might have been all alone. That's why you were probably feeling isolated and everything. But now that everything is out in the open, we're all together on the same path. So All for One cannot get you alone. If he tries to get you alone, we will be there. We will all be walking on the same path. So just the fact that you're not alone in itself should give you enough courage to move on forward. And yeah. And he also tells him that about the whole quirkless situation. You saw how everyone reacted to Midoriya. He also kept this a secret up until now, so everyone was able to accept him. Why do you think they won't be able to accept you? You have given your part of the story. You've said that what you have done wrong, this and that, and they're accepting you, as you can see. So just trust in that and move forward, and give them back the amount of trust that they put on you. Give it back in kind, and show them that they have not made a mistake of trusting you and giving you a second chance. And that's how it ended. So yeah, that was today's episode. Yeah, good episode. Let's see how this goes. I feel like this probably in a few episodes will probably go like this, but they'll be all preparing and stuff, and then one episode suddenly we're probably going to go into the whole thing and try to deal with All for One. So let's wait and see how this proceeds. For now, I think it'll be basically preparatory episodes. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to today's episode number 4 of My Hero Academia season 7. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of My Hero Academia. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.